Welcome to 82 Toothpicks, a podcast from the Huizinga Law Firm. I'm Thad, and I'm joined by Ethan, Amber, and Jocelyn as we break down our favorite movies and uncover the estate planning gems hidden within them. From comedies and dramas to family sagas, we're talking about the films we love and the legacy lessons they teach. So grab your popcorn, settle in, and let's talk about the movie. Welcome back to 82 Toothpicks, everybody. I want to start with some sad news. Amber Huizinga will no longer be a special guest on the podcast.
Wait.
Oh,
Thad's fired.
Let me
Thad's
pause.
fired.
Pregnant pause. She won't be a special guest anymore because she is now a permanent member of the podcast.
Woo!
Welcome, Amber.
She did jazz hands.
Hi.
No one
Okay,
saw that.
first rule of podcasting, you can't do hand signals, which coincidentally, our
Gonna
movie
make
today.
really difficult.
I want everyone to know that Amber and I are sitting on the same couch to record this podcast, so this is the Amber couch now.
Amber squared.
Amber squared couch.
We were talking before we recorded about how we're going to differentiate you two, but you sound different. Like, I'm not really
We
worried.
do.
Yeah.
I hope
Hopefully people could figure it
the
out.
people will figure it out.
It's really going to be for me and Ethan if we say, "Hey, Amber, what'd you think of the movie?"
We start talking in sync. That'd
yeah.
be crazy.
I expect she'll start talking first most of the
I'm
time.
gonna say,
So we'll be
you are
okay.
way more passive. You're going to just like assume she's going to go first. We'll figure it out as we go, I guess.
It'll be a lot of rock, paper, scissors for who goes first.
There you go.
Going forward, Jocelyn isn't going to be on the podcast as frequently. She is still around. We will still see her. She just has decided to start working remotely. So it won't be as frequent, but I'm sure she'll be on again, right? Cool.
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. Ethan, this was your pick. Let's dive into the movie.
It was sort of my pick.
Sort of. Okay, tell us about the theme.
Yeah.
Whoop.
So,
Yeah.
as of the day of recording,
Mm-hmm.
just yesterday, they released the list of 10 nominees for the Best Picture Academy Award, and for this year, the movies from last year. So, I thought it would be fun to watch a few of the Best Picture winners from the past. So this week we are recording an episode about CODA, which is the Academy Award winner for Best Picture from 2022.
Okay. Had any of you seen this movie before?
No.
I had not even heard of
Yeah,
this movie
I hadn't even heard of
before.
it either.
Same. Apple TV Plus movie.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of they're at that time they were breaking into like, we're going to
Yeah.
do films now. And they immediately hit this one out of the park.
Yeah.
Like
Beautiful
first movie, and
movie.
we're going to win an Oscar for Best Picture.
Yeah,
Right?
so Apple TV is the I don't know, the studio, I guess you'd say. But this is actually a remake.
I didn't know this.
It is
Tell
a
me about
remake of a French film,
it. Okay.
basically telling the same story. They Americanized it a little bit and turned it into English.
Really?
Like the family is a fisherman,
Yeah,
fishing family.
I
or whatever.
don't know what the French movie
Oh,
is.
okay.
I know what I read when I was looking at what this movie was. And
Gotcha.
it said it's a remake of a French film.
Interesting. Well, I appreciate that because I don't know about you guys, but I don't speak French.
Turns out neither
So-
do many of the characters in this movie.
Okay.
So the part where he said, "Pardon my French."
Heyo.
Joke.
Ha ha.
Okay. So we hadn't seen this one before. Going into it, did we expect anything? Was there any sort of? We'd kind of talked about what it was about just based on the title.
Yeah. For a Oscar winner that is fairly new that I hadn't heard of or remembered anybody talking about, I expected it to be one of these, I'm going to say, highbrow, artsy, not as accessible as a lot of movies we watch, which was absolutely false. Was expecting like The Shape of Water kind of one of these.
Yeah.
That's just everything, and the whole film is a metaphor kind of.
Yeah, there were several years in there where the winning movie was like just entirely. I mean,
Yeah.
and not that there's anything wrong with being an artistic film.
No, I love art films,
but they are, like you said, less accessible.
right. So I was expecting it to be something like that, just since those are usually the ones that don't make it popular. But this was not that at all. This was like we finished, and I was like, why was nobody talking about this movie? This is fabulous.
I don't know why anyone's not talking about this.
Yeah.
They should be. We're going to tell them why they should be. Our podcast will change the world.
Well, I've had people say, "Hey, I listened to your podcast, and I would have never watched that movie otherwise." So
okay.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Go watch CODA.
Who wants to give a summary of the movie?
I can.
Do it.
Okay, so CODA stands for Child of Deaf Adults.
Okay.
So the movie is about a family. They have 2 kids. The oldest is a boy, and he is deaf, and the parents are both deaf, but their youngest daughter is hearing. And so she is a senior in high school when the movie starts, and their whole life is centered around fishing. So they have a fishing boat. It's a family thing. They've been doing it for generations, and they fish.
Massachusetts.
They're in Massachusetts? Okay. I didn't know where they were. And the daughter can sing. She can sing very well. And she joins choir at her high school, and her music teacher is pushing her to audition and go to college on scholarship. But in order to do that, she has to leave her family, and she is their only interpreter. And so they start their own business within the fishing world, and they really need her to interpret. So she's kind of stuck between, do I follow my dreams and go to college to sing? Or do I stay home and interpret for my family because they really rely on me?
Yeah. Nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So did any of you do choir?
Yes.
I knew as I was asking that question, like this
All
is
of
going to
us
be
do choir.
Do we do choir?
all choir kids. The
You
thing,
two, right then?
Yeah. So the choir at my school, I mean, there was 70 of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
They
thing
had a
that they're
tiny
showing
choir.
is like an a cappella group. There's like
Yeah.
12 people.
Yeah.
It's a lot closer to what like I would see as like a barbershop group or like the pentatonic
Glee club
style.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
Glee club. The Glee
Yeah.
club's probably better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd
And
you
it may
guys think
have
of
been
that?
that style of choir because she had to sign up for an extracurricular.
Mhm.
Right.
And
And
it
they sang much more poppy
Yeah.
sounding.
They did.
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, so at my high school, we weren't big, but we had like choir, and then we had smaller groups. One of them was an a cappella group, which I feel like that's what she really did join instead of a choir. Choir
Right.
is a lot
Like,
of more people.
Yeah, standing up there with 70 people or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard to be like my choir experience was the same as her choir experience. But were any of you like Glee club people?
No.
Okay. Have you seen Glee?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I have seen Glee, yes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we didn't have a Glee club at
Nope.
Unity. We did have like smaller choirs, like you talked about. That
Yeah.
we were-
I sang in
Exclusive clubs.
I sang in two different chamber groups in high school too, along with choir.
Yeah,
So,
kind of like that.
like we had a group of 16 singers and we had a group of 24 singers. I
Yeah.
was in both of those.
We never did anything like we described it as poppy, right? So they're up there, they're snapping, they're moving. You know, it's not like a rigid stand here in your black, uniform, like dress pants, shirt. It's
yeah,
like
your concert blacks.
yeah, exactly. It was a lot more free.
Yeah. That might be have something to do with the fact that we're from the Midwest.
Yeah, we don't
Honestly, it might be.
My show choir outfit my freshman year of high school was a shiny bubblegum pink long sleeve shirt.
Are you
I love
kidding me?
that.
It was great. And
That sounds
Do
amazing.
you still have it? I
was,
hope you
of
still
course
have
not.
it.
I don't have that.
That's lame.
I was also on the swim team the same time I did choir, and part of our swim team tradition was all the underclassmen had to. Our school colors were black and gold, so the underclassmen would bleach their hair, and the upperclassmen would dye their hair black. So if you can imagine, 14-year-old Chad
with bleached hair.
blonde hair, and a shiny pink bubblegum shirt.
Love that.
You
That-
looked like
That
Ken.
was my Glee club, and we sang Michael Jackson that year.
I love that for you.
It was awful. If you saw photos of this, you'd be like, "Who is that guy?"
I need photos of this immediately.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
just going to say pics or it didn't happen. Bring the receipts, Dad.
my wife was in the varsity show choir that year, and I was in JV, and because freshmen couldn't be on varsity, yeah. And our choir actually beat hers in a competition one time, and it was
Ooh.
the ultimate David and Goliath. I still remind her of it.
No doubt.
That's
So, yeah.
funny.
If you can imagine, I was the worst dancer
That-
in all of show choir
In all the land.
that year. Yeah.
in all the
Yeah.
That's funny.
I feel like
so
we
with
should all
that-
be like more. No, Thad, no way.
You
I don't believe
you don't
that.
have to. My dad encouraged me to join show choir to meet women. I got to tell you,
So
you look
say-
back in your life and you're like, yeah, accomplished. Check.
I did that.
That was good advice,
Yep.
Dad.
Good job, Pops.
Well, so that was always a joke, but this girl joins choir when she sees a guy she likes
Yeah.
join choir.
Right on.
Yeah.
In the movie, yeah.
Well,
And her friend is like, choir? Really?
And she's shy too. Like she had to overcome that as well. Like singing in front of her peers and in front of her teacher was hard for her at first because she's used to singing in front of her deaf family and they can't hear her. And
Even the teacher was like, who joins choir if they don't want to sing?
That was funny.
yeah.
The choir teacher was my favorite character, and it wasn't real close.
Yeah,
He was
I
great.
liked him a lot.
He was really good.
I liked him a lot.
Were your choir teachers like him?
No.
Nothing like him?
I would prefer not to have that conversation on the air. No, the answer is no.
What?
I'm sorry, what?
There's a scene that he was just playing the piano sorrowfully after she was late to another rehearsal.
Yeah, he's very moody.
My choir teacher in high school would just, you'd walk into class and she would be playing anything based on her mood that day and based on the weather.
Really?
It was, she,
Actually-
like watching that scene, I was like,
Did she go to Berkeley?
That's so
I
helpful.
don't know where she went. She was amazing.
Maybe that's a Berkeley trait.
But yeah, she would just make stuff up as we were walking in, and it just set the tone for the class that day.
But that's so helpful because then you know right away
Yeah.
what her mood is and you know what class is going to look like. That's very helpful, actually.
I think that's got to be a print 4 thing.
Yeah. That makes so much sense to me. I'm going to play sad music if I'm sad.
It's funny because I didn't really even pay attention to that
Oh, really?
which is totally a print 8 thing.
Right.
That didn't even blip
Didn't
your
even-
radar.
I mean, I noticed that he was playing the piano, and she asked him if it was one of his
Yeah.
that he was playing. But past that,
You didn't feel the vibes?
Nope, I was not feeling vibes.
There were a lot of sorrowful, woe is
Yes.
me vibes.
Ethan is not an empath.
It really struck a chord with me.
Heyo.
Oh, my word.
Who
Do
were
we
your?
count Thad jokes on
Yes.
this?
We should just have a tally.
Goodness.
Someday we're going to get
Dang.
video for the podcast, and we're going to record and have video as well as the audio, and we're going to have counters on the Thad jokes. Ding,
fun.
ding, ding, ding.
That'd be fun.
I am in. Who are your favorite characters?
I really liked her dad.
Mm.
I thought he was a very cool character. I liked how he addressed the fact that they do need her as an interpreter, right? Or someone who can interpret. Obviously, she's the first choice. But he also wasn't really pushing for her to stay. Like he checked in, like, are you sure you want to do this? And mom was really pushing for her to stay and not go to college. So I think they had a really cool relationship. I liked the scene at the end where like she sings for him and he like, listens, quote unquote, to her singing by like feeling like her neck. Yeah. And the way she, I thought that was really cool. And then he cries at the end and she's singing and interpreting at her audition. I'll rate it later, but my cry is very high.
Amber, your favorite character?
There was so much character growth and development in this movie, and that's what I always look at for like that's compelling to me. I don't know. I kind of liked, I really liked her boyfriend. I thought he was just a great, typical high school, but at the same time, he had more depth than all of the other kids around her who were just mean and kind of grew into, I don't know. I thought he was a great character in his development.
He was learning
through
sign there at the end a little
movie
bit. That was
from
cool.
one of the popular kids who was definitely against her at the beginning of the movie to really being for her even when she made the audition and he didn't. At the end was really great.
Good.
So
Interesting. Ethan?
Mine is also her dad.
Nice.
I liked him a lot.
He's so cool.
But since Amber talked about him already, I'll tell you who my least favorite character was.
Please do.
Oh.
Mom.
Least favorite was the mom?
I did not
She has the
like-
most development.
I did not like her at all.
Tell us why.
Because, so the very first interaction you see between just Mom and crap, now I can't
Ruby.
think of her. Ruby, thank you. I knew it was an R. The first interaction you see between Mom and Ruby, she tells her to take her earbuds out.
Because it's rude.
Because it's rude. Why is it rude? You don't speak. Who cares if I have my earbuds in? I don't need to hear you. And from that moment, every interaction she made until about 3/4 to 7/8 of the way through the movie was selfish by the mom.
Silence. Yeah, she was a tough character too. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
You gotta give me time.
She was a tough character to like relate to and I don't know, be like satisfied in the amount of growth she has at the end.
Yeah.
Because she did change and develop as a character a little bit.
The family
but
came
like,
around for sure.
Yeah. But like, does that justify what we saw in the beginning?
Right. And I think the reason I like her dad more, like the reason he's my favorite character is because you watch him visibly struggle with, we need her and I don't want her to be stuck in this. We need her to help us, but it's not fair to her to tell her that she can't go do hearing person things because we can't get by without her.
Yeah.
And then the whole subplot of the music, right? Like her wanting to get involved in singing, and her mom goes, "Why?"
Yeah, I was just.
If I was
gonna
blind,
bring
would
that
you
up.
want to paint?
Like,
Yeah, that was very selfish.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that line just was so, like, that's the exact description of her character is,
Sure.
well, if I was blind, would you want to paint? Like, she's not making choices based on your disability. She's making choices based on her gifting and the thing that makes her heart sing. Like, come on. Anyway, I feel strongly about that one.
Yeah.
I did not like her at all.
Okay.
She used a line when they were talking in her bedroom. She said, I was worried when you were born that if you weren't deaf, we wouldn't connect. Right?
Yeah, and I prayed for you to be deaf, right? Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Which is, I mean, as much as you might understand that,
Yep.
selfish.
Sure.
I feel like the mom also uses her more as an interpreter instead of like connecting with her as her daughter.
Right.
Like she brings her friend over to the house and she's like, hey, can you call grandma and translate for me? She's like, I have a friend over. Like, you have another way of
She
doing
says, well,
it.
I don't like using a different interpreter.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same thing happens when the news crew shows up.
That
Yeah.
one-
Why didn't they tell her that was happening?
I had the same thought.
I said that right out. I was like, why didn't they prep her for that?
Because the assumption is you'll just always
You'll
be
just
around.
be there. Yeah, I guess. That was really tough.
What did we think of the brother?
He was a complicated character too. But I kind of liked him the whole way through.
Okay.
He had a lot of, back and forth, like, I don't know, in a movie that you're probably supposed to most resonate with the main character. He definitely was the sibling vibe. Like, he's kind of picking on her the whole time.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like best friends, but at each other. And like, he's got this complicated, the scene where he's yelling at her because you have to leave because they won't trust me to do anything as long as you're around. Had so many different elements of it in it of he wants her to leave for her, but I need you to leave for me too. And that complicated sibling
And the recognition of the fact that
Relationship
she's
there.
sacrificing
Yep.
by saying she'll stay.
Yep.
And yes, you're helping them, but it
Yes.
just sort of is this circle, and it goes around in a circle a couple of times when he's talking to her there.
Yeah.
And the guilt he feels too is like the older sibling being
Yeah.
like, I'm older, I should be able to do this.
I mean, just
Right.
that one interaction had so many layers to it.
Yeah.
It was just
And it
really well
really
done.
explained everything about him the whole rest of the movie, kind of in one little outburst.
Yeah.
So
You see him get frustrated early on because she comes up and negotiates the price for the fish.
yeah,
And he gets mad at her because he's trying to do that.
yep,
Yeah, independently.
And the guy he's talking to is taking advantage of him because he can't hear. And she yells at him, and then he gets mad at her, even though the outcome was better because she took away his independence.
yeah, yeah. It's an interesting struggle, and you feel that struggle. Like he's not against her, but he's definitely struggling against some parts of their relationship the whole way through the movie.
Yeah, I think it's the dependence, right?
Yeah.
Like he wants to start a business. He wants to start the co-op to sell their own fish, and then he wants to he goes with the guys to go have a drink after they are done fishing for the day. In that one scene when he gets in the bar fight, and he's mad because the guy is in his face and making fun of him for being deaf, and so rather than let it go, he wants to prove that he's
So instead of walking away, he's actually starting the fight.
right.
And such a different, like if her parents want her to stay because they feel like they need her, he wants her to go because he doesn't want to need her.
Yeah.
So they kind of play off of each other. I thought that was cool
Yeah, that
relationally
was.
too.
I don't know if I have a least favorite character. The mom wasn't very likable, right? I don't think I hate her. I don't hate her. I don't know if there's anyone I was like, I mean, like there's bullies at the high school, right? Like obviously no one likes them.
I don't even know what
and
their
their
names
whole
were.
their whole job was just to be mean, right? Like
Yeah,
we don't
that's
even
why
know
they
their
were-
names.
Right, that's why they're in the movie.
Yeah. I don't know if I have like a least favorite character.
Yeah.
There were
The boat monitors.
Yeah, I was
The
gonna say.
director of the fish
The
Co-op
auction,
that they're-
the auction,
the auction
Oh,
place that they're in
Geo.
originally, that's
Geo. That's it.
swindling all of the fishermen is pretty.
What about the inspector who
Nasty.
calls the Coast Guard on them because
Yep.
they're on the boat without a hearing person?
Yeah.
Did we think that was a right
Was
decision?
that? Do you think there was a lawsuit potential there?
What did I say?
That was
Sue-
immediately he was like,
Sue the Coast
"Sue
Guard.
the Coast Guard."
You can sue the Coast Guard?
Of course you can.
You can sue
Just
anybody for
kidding.
anything.
Yeah.
kidding.
Well, because with the discriminatory policies, right? To say, well, you can't operate a fishing boat if you can't hear.
Okay, so I didn't quite hear what they were saying when they boarded the fishing boat. Did they say you're not in the correct area? Like you're in...
I couldn't hear what the boat was saying, like when they were before they boarded.
Right. So was it like they were actually out of like their regulated fishing area, or
I think
Did
they
she
were
just-
trying to get them to pull over.
did she just be like,
And they
oh, there's no
didn't.
one on this boat that can hear?
No, I think she called them,
Right.
and
But
then they came because they were not able to hear. You know what I mean? So I don't think they were in trouble because they were in the wrong place. I
Okay.
think they were in trouble because they couldn't hear.
right. Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But I wanted to clarify that.
To take that a step further, it sounded like somebody has to be able to answer the radio.
Yeah.
And because she called them, they radioed to them, and nobody answered the radio. So then they nabbed
Got
them on
it.
Right.
you couldn't
Got
communicate.
it.
Right.
So they weren't like out of their regulated fishing area or anything.
I don't
That's
think
what
so.
I thought was happening for a second. I was like, no, they've been doing this forever. They know where to go.
I hated when they're like, here's a $1,500 fine and another $1,500 fine.
Yeah.
For no reason. Like, they didn't even explain the second one.
No.
Just
Yeah,
because.
a penalty fine or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
With
Okay.
with an
What?
additional penalty of,
Yeah.
Yep.
What in the world?
I mean, it's the government.
True. All right.
That's what they do.
Amber, you have a game for us?
I do. Let me grab it. This is difficult. Okay. So, our game today is about guessing definitions to homonyms. I can't quite say that word well. But the title of our movie is CODA, right? Which stands for Children of Deaf Adults. But it also is a term in music, which
Correct.
means it's concluding the section or the end of a piece, right? So I'm going to say out loud a word that has two different meanings. It could have more. I have two written down.
So actually, coda is a point in music that you choose either a first or second ending. And so I thought coda was a really cool thing to put in there because the whole thing is about her choice whether to stay or go.
Oh, that
and when
is
you
cool.
get to a coda in music, you're either going to this section of music or this other section of music. So anyway, not to interrupt your game.
No, you're
but-
good.
So I guess we'll skip the game.
Hello? I'm sorry. Knock it off. Okay.
Amber's ready to throw hands.
So I have 15 words. They all have at least 2 meanings. I have 2 written down. We could use the buzzers. We don't have to, but you just have to tell me both definitions to get a point. You can just be like, oh, I know one of them.
We're just going to take turns and go around.
Sure.
Like Amber gets the first one.
Okay.
I guess
Maybe like if you can't get it, defers to
Sure.
the person next to you kind of a thing.
Sure. Perfect.
That's fine.
Okay. Amber, do you want to start?
Sure.
Okay, your first word. Give me the 2 definitions for bark.
Like bark like a dog barks and bark like bark on a tree.
Yay!
All right, cool. I got it.
They kind of start off a little silly. Ethan, bat is your word.
He loves those. Those
All
are
right.
his favorite
So
thing.
I'm going to guess that the 2 versions of that word that you have are the thing you use in baseball and the critter that flies around and
Critter.
is the spawn of Satan.
You don't like bats?
Oh,
I didn't know
phobia
this.
level doesn't
Okay.
like bats.
Do we have time for a quick story, Amber?
I mean,
Always.
yeah.
Okay. So I have an irrational fear of bats. Like,
Really?
I recognize and am aware that it is fundamentally irrational,
Okay.
and it doesn't matter. The most recent bat story is probably 2.5 years ago now. There was a bat in the building here in the office.
Oh, really?
And the reason we know that there was a bat in the building is because it was attached to, like, it had perched on one of the art pieces in the front hallway,
What?
And it was just
my word.
up against the wall, like sleeping
Hanging. Yeah.
against this on the painting. And I wasn't at work yet, and Jocelyn texted me and said, "There's a bat in the building." And I said, "Seriously?" And she said, "Yes, we're all in Gail's office."
No one went to go take care of it?
Gail from the Coyote Ugly podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
For the listener.
And so I said, "All right." And I called my dad because
What else does one do in a situation where there's a bat
I'm
in
not
your
going to
office?
take care of the bat.
Yeah.
And I said, I came in the garage and I walked in Gail's office and I looked at everybody in the office and was dead serious. I said, "If there is not a bat in this building, you are all fired."
Oh, you thought it was a prank?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was fully prepared to fire every single one of them. That is how irrational the fear is.
So how'd you get the bat out
My
of the
dad
building?
came and got rid of the bat.
Well, how?
I don't he
He took a bat.
No, he works for their church and with the maintenance, and he gets
Okay.
rid of bats in their
I
church
have
all the time.
a church
So,
bat story. Can I tell that real quick?
Of course.
We were visiting my grandparents' church one time, and we were distracted the whole service because there was a bat hanging up in the corner, like behind the pulpit, like where the church like comes to its like little peak, it was just chilling there, sleeping the whole service, and none of us could focus. And so afterwards, it's just sitting there, and my grandpa gets the church vacuum, vacuums up the bat, and lets it go outside underneath the tree. And that's my bat story from the church.
How did it not get caught in the filter?
The filter?
Yeah.
It was like the vacuum had like a bag.
Oh.
So then you just like open the bag outside and then
Gotcha.
there was a dusty little bat. He was an old little guy though.
Dusty little bit.
Grandpa just
Oh,
vacuumed him
man.
up. No fear either. He marched up
That's
there and vacuumed up that
hilarious.
bat so quickly.
So anyway, irrational fear. And
That's okay.
to be clear, if there are bat-related pranks that happen in this office, you're fired.
Okay. I wasn't really planning on bat related planks, but okay. Thad, are you ready for your word?
Was I right?
Hit me with
Yeah,
it.
you were.
right,
Yeah,
good.
sorry, you got a point. Thad, your word is bank.
Okay. I'm going to say like the edge of a like body of water, as well as a place to store your money.
That's good.
As well as
There's
shot
another
in basketball.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Gotta call bank.
Bank shot.
All right. Amber, your word is date.
A date is something you go on with your spouse or significant other, and a date is a fruit.
Good. I have another one on here too.
It's also a
If
time
anyone
on a
also a
calendar.
time on the
Yeah,
calendar.
there you go.
I didn't know they had try definitions.
Well, I have 2 written down, but sometimes there's a third one that's pretty obvious.
Bad dates. Indiana Jones. Anyway.
Bad dates.
Ethan, your word is fair. Why are you glaring at me right now? I don't understand.
How's it spelled?
F-A-I-R.
There we go.
Thank you.
Sorry, if you need spelling, just let me know.
Fair would be a variation of just. So everything is fair.
Mm-hmm.
It is also a thing that happens in the summer in various counties and or states where there are rides and animals and things of such nature.
Like a county fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
State fair.
Nice.
Our state has the best fare. Way
it's
better than the state
also-
up north.
I'm sorry.
Butter cow.
The color.
No,
that's a
stop
word.
right now. Thad just offended the Minnesota State Fair.
I don't care. Those
And I
degens from upcountry
Can't
can
be
sit on
having
it.
this. You take that back right now. Take it back.
No, their
You don't
fair's not
have
as good.
butter heads at your dingy little
Yeah, we have
state
whole
We
fair.
have an
butter
entire
cows.
cow out of butter.
You don't have butter heads. 90-pound heads.
Oh, it's
of
cute
butter
that you
of the
didn't
dairy
finish the
princesses.
animal with your butter.
Again, with the throwing of hands.
The
The fair
Minnesotan
is
in me is
also
ready to
how
fight
you
right
would
now.
describe the complexion or hair color of someone who's blonde.
Oh, look at that. All right, Thad. Your word is jam. Go.
Like if you
A thing that Thad is in right now.
if you keep a door from opening with a device, or you spread it on toast or a biscuit.
Okay, I'll take that. I have another definition.
I do
written
not
down,
like
though.
that. I object.
Why?
To his definitions?
Yep.
Which one are you arguing? The door
The
stop?
door.
Why?
A door jam?
Because the door jam is the frame around it, and it's spelled with a B.
What?
J-A-M-B. Door jam.
Thad, can you think of a third type of jam
Third type of jam.
that has not been mentioned?
Like a music style of listening to music.
Like you're jamming out?
Yeah, like a
This is my
jam
jam.
sesh.
I'll give you that.
That's
I'll give you
good.
that one.
I have another one written down if anyone has another idea.
How about, that's another basketball term.
It's not what I have, but okay.
Like space jam.
Yeah.
Space jam. I have like a traffic jam written down
yeah.
as well.
There you go. Lots of good ones.
This is so fun. Education. Okay, Amber, your word is kind.
Kind.
Yes.
I can think of lots of ways you would use the word kind. Like kind, like a type of, like every
Anything.
animal to its kind.
Like a category.
Like
Like
they-
what you're saying?
yes,
Yeah,
like-
okay.
They say in scripture sometimes.
What kind
and then
of cake is this?
kind, to be kind and loving and generous to one another.
Caring. Yeah.
Nice on
Yes.
purpose.
Yep, that's what I had actually. Lovely. Ethan, your word is lie. L-I-E.
A untrue statement.
Mm-hmm.
And to lie down.
And take a little nap. Yep.
Nappy poo.
Nice. You guys are crushing this. Thad, your word is match.
So like a group of sets in tennis
Okay.
and something you light to start a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, match would be a competition, like a game or
Yeah.
And maybe when you're putting your socks together.
Need a match.
unless your name is Calica, in which case
Doesn't matter.
matches are not required.
She doesn't match.
You just
Left
grab
and
two
right.
socks on
Yeah.
the bed and
Correct.
them on
Sometimes
your
not
feet.
even that. Do they fit on my feet? Perfect. Are you wearing 2 left socks? Does it matter? Okay.
That's hilarious. All right. Amber, your word is mint.
mint, like the candy you put on your pillow at the hotel at night.
Okay.
Or the flavor of your toothpaste. And then mint, like
Oh, she's got 3.
oh, like where you make your money. is a mint.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, I got to flip over my little paper here. No one look at the answers. Ethan, your word is nail. Be nice.
All right. A metal spike.
Mm-hmm.
And when you successfully accomplish something, you nailed it.
Okay.
Okay.
I have another one.
So do I.
It's not that one. It's not
All right,
that
guys.
one. Like your fingernail.
Sure.
My goodness, you guys. Thad, are you ready?
Successful accomplishment, Ethan. Do you want to dive into that a little bit?
No, you're done.
Okay.
Your word.
I do not.
Your word is park.
So that would be an action with my car to keep it from rolling away.
Park your car. Okay.
Yep. And
Park the
Pack
car.
the cat.
a place that you could take a dog to where they would have a little bit of freedom to run around.
Heaven?
Yes, heaven involves a dog park.
Okay, nice.
Good. All dogs go there, I guess.
Okay. Amber, your word is ring. Thad, you did get a point. Good job.
Ring a bell, or you would wear a ring, like a piece of jewelry.
Nice.
Play Ring Around
Ethan.
the Rosie.
Ring around the Rosie's a good one. Ethan, your word is seal.
Or.
Nice.
It's an animal, and it's the stamp we use when we notarize things for clients.
Nice.
I thought he sings crazy.
Nice.
Thad, your word is mole. This is the last one.
Well, how's it spelled?
M-O-L-E.
As opposed to MOL,
Yeah.
which is a chemical measurement.
Yeah. So this is like another critter that is blind and digs holes and tunnels. And then this could be a beauty mark of some sort on your skin.
I have another one. Do you have another definition for mole?
Yes. Spy in your organization.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow. Actually, everyone got their points, so no one won. We all tied.
So what I'm gaining from this is English is not very creative. And we use the same words because we're like, what should we call that?
You
We
think
already
that's
have
bad? Japanese.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. In Japanese, they'll use the same word for 20 different things.
And then does it just matter like how you say it?
Context.
Yeah.
Or
Entirely context.
Oh, interesting.
Well, so I wonder, so if you're doing sign language, you probably don't have a sign that could mean multiple things, right?
Not likely.
Like if we used mint, they'd be like, "Oh, could you use that in a sentence?" No, you just probably have
A word for
a
mint
word
and
for
you
the candy and a word for making money.
maybe, but maybe it's like Japanese and it's all context.
Yeah.
Well,
could be.
and sign language tends to be action based, not strictly word based,
Okay.
and as concise as possible. Right? They don't use articles or ands and thes or ors, and
Sure.
they just, because you'd be
All over
Yeah.
the
moving
place.
your hands all over the place.
In the movie, there were a few times when you saw them spell a word,
Yeah.
and it was usually something like a name or a location.
I was kind of surprised by the number of times they would tell her to say something and she would not exactly interpret it,
She would
but she would give a summary of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps the best scene of that was at the doctor.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh dear.
Oh,
He
my
gave
word.
such a specific description, and you could tell from the hand movements
Yeah.
what he was describing.
Right.
And she looked at him like, "Are you kidding me?"
I am not saying that out loud.
Right.
Right. That's so weird for her too, to be like this high schooler going to the doctor's appointment with her parents, having
Yeah.
the issue that they had, and she's like, "Great, now I got to say all this out loud."
Well, and
It sets the scene for the movie. Like her whole job is interpreting, no matter
Yeah.
how like
Uncomfortable.
inconvenient it is
Yeah.
for her, or uncomfortable. Yeah.
I enjoyed the. So we don't think about what it's like to be a deaf person in a hearing culture a lot, but that's something we can kind of understand on a basic level, right? Like you can't hear anything. But what we don't think about ever is what it's like to be a hearing person in a deaf culture. Because regularly through the movie, Ruby says or experiences something about how loud her family is.
Right. Yeah.
Right? She's sitting at the table trying to do homework, and her dad is outside just
Cleaning the grill.
cleaning the crap out of that grill, and it is as loud as all get out. And her mom's slamming dishes down on the table, and she's like, "You guys are so loud. I can't even think straight."
Her brother has notifications on his phone.
Yeah.
and doesn't know it's making noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really interesting, the opposite perspective, right? We think about what it would be like to be deaf
Yeah.
in a hearing culture, but think about being a hearing person surrounded by deaf people who have no idea how loud they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this movie portrayed both sides of that so well, because you get the scene where, her family is slamming everything around the house because they have no idea that it's making noise when they're
Or
clunking
when
the dishes on the table.
someone's getting nailed.
Right.
You know what?
You could have just left that out.
But that's
I
the
made that
funniest
game
scene
so
in the
quickly.
whole movie.
Oh, man.
Anyway, move on.
Anyway, but then the flip side, you get the scene where her deaf family attends her choir concert.
Mm-hmm.
And the song that they've been practicing that you kind of want to hear them sing, like you've been waiting to hear this duet the whole movie,
Mm-hmm.
and they cut the sound out
I loved that part.
in
That
the
was
middle
so
of the
cool.
concert. And you experience the disappointment that her family feels at she's doing this awesome thing, and wait, we don't get to hear this part? And it was just such a great
Yeah. And then you watch them experience it through the responses,
Reactions,
reactions
the people
of the,
around
of the
them.
audience.
yeah.
And that scene is the scene where her mom's perspective shifts, right?
Yeah.
Because she's looking around and seeing, right? She sees these people smiling, and she sees this couple look at each other, and she sees the lady over here who's crying, right?
Yeah.
And that's when she realizes, oh, this is a big deal
Yeah.
for her.
This isn't just a thing she's doing.
Yeah, not just a high school
Yeah.
hobby,
Yeah, and they were so worried the whole movie too that she would be a bad singer
right?
because they don't know.
Well, and the,
Heard her?
the hilarious, yeah, the hilarious part about that is just logically, the choir teacher would filter that. You don't get into choir if you're terrible, particularly not that kind of a choir. But they don't think of that because
Yeah.
they don't process from a
Right.
hearing perspective. It's just interesting. But yeah, you're right. It's a very clear juxtaposition of both of those things regularly throughout
Yeah.
the movie. It's actually really cool. It's a very cool device.
We ready to talk about the estate planning?
Are we?
This one's going to be interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
This one is
ready.
tough.
Okay. Somebody want to start?
Amber gets to start. She's ready.
Which Amber?
You.
Oh. All right. My first thought is they make a business and it should be an LLC. I'd like to put that out there.
Nice.
Why do you think that?
Their fresh catch business
Mm-hmm.
should be an LLC.
I would like to I wonder what they signed, because there's a point in the movie where they sign some legal documents.
Yeah.
I know there's a lease, right? Because they get the keys and all of that. But there's another part in the movie where they sign something official to create their business. And I would like to see what that was, because I'm interested in, was it a corporation? Was it an LLC? Was it a special classification as a co-op? I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Yeah. I thought about that right away when they made the business. Thinking a little bit about like guardianship for their kids. Does that look different because they are a deaf family with one hearing kid? And what does that look like? You know, let's pretend they did have like a will or something. Like, who you appoint to look after your kiddos. Does that look different if you have one deaf kiddo and one hearing kiddo?
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. I don't know. Maybe, you'd have to, that would be a hard conversation, like as the planner, to sit down with a family and have to figure that out. Like, woof. That would be tough. That would be tough.
Yeah. So those were my two big, bright ideas.
You look like you're thinking.
Well, I thought of the guardianship kind of issues, but I thought about it the other way, going forward. When, she already does so much to help her family. You can assume all of those issues and disabilities get brought to the extreme as we age, and so you think about caretakers and guardians and things from probably the daughter as the hearing child to her parents, or So those issues that may come up in the future. The other one I saw was, their whole life is this fishing boat that was, it's old as the hills because they've been using it.
Do you maintain this engine regularly?
For forever, and
it's really loud.
He got the boat from the daughter's dad got the boat from his dad, and his grandpa also fished, but probably not the same boat since it's a motorized boat. But this tradition and livelihood that's been passed down, it's different than all the farmers in the farmland that we work with here. But in an estate planning sense, really
it is
not.
And it isn't. Yeah.
Right. And then when they're expanding it and adding the business along with it, and that has some estate planning kinds of implications to it.
Cool. Dad, what do you think?
Yeah, mine was a lot about agency. You brought up the doctor's office scene earlier.
Sure.
How she was essentially interpreting for the doctor as well as the parents. So they're conveying their healthcare needs, and she has to tell the doctor that. And the doctor has to say, hey, this is a pretty simple fix, but here's the ground rules. And she had to then convey those back to her parents, right?
You can never,
ever
for the rest of your life.
So we get a lot of children of adults calling us saying, hey, I want to make decisions for mom and dad. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we have to say, okay, can you make that decision, right? Mm-hmm. Like we can give you the options, but you don't get to make the choice. And Ruby's job there, she kind of probably overstepped in making some decisions. But essentially it was, hey, who's the agent here? Who's communicating for healthcare?
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting distinction too, because if she's just an interpreter, and I mean that in it
sure,
it's not important. It's an interpreter is not the same as an agent, right? And so where does she cross the line, which is what you were just saying, between telling the doctor or telling her parents what the doctor said, or what's been said, to giving imposing her own intent, her own decision making on those things,
right?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Anything else?
No, there's more. I don't know.
I was gonna say, what'd you see?
So I saw the one that you mentioned about getting the boat from his dad, and his grandfather had also been a fisherman. That was the one that was kind of the most obvious to me. But what I'm intrigued by is I don't know how Social Security disability would treat a deaf person.
I know.
And Thad does, because Thad worked for Social Security disability. But it's interesting because the purpose of Social Security disability is to provide income to people who cannot work, essentially. Mm-hmm. And these guys clearly can work. Mm-hmm. Unless the Coast Guard says you have to have someone who can hear on your boat. Okay, well, now they can't do that anymore. So that was an interesting question. It was a thought exercise for me more than it was a theme of the movie, although it was a catalyst for some things that happened. So what do you think, Thad?
Do you want the
I do.
actual definition?
Yeah.
Okay. Disability is all based on skill, right? If I would have had a client like that, I would have said, you're not disabled, first of all, because you are working and earning an income. Disability means you cannot work and get an income.
Right. Yep.
Okay. So if for some reason somebody was a fisherman and the law says they had to be able to hear to operate a fishing boat and they became deaf, now we have a disability.
Right.
Because I can't do my job anymore. But there was never a point where they couldn't do their job anymore, except for criminal activity. See what I mean? So,
no.
Okay, so because they...
The distinction you're drawing is the difference between someone who could hear and now can't, and someone who can't hear and does it anyway.
That's what I'm saying. They're not disabled because their disability wasn't keeping them from working, right? What was keeping them from working was the Coast Guard.
Okay. So...
That's like saying I'm a truck driver, but because I got too many speeding tickets, now I'm disabled.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, and that I don't see that as the same. I understand. I understand what you're how you're comparing them.
Yeah.
But that's why it's interesting to me, because if they're not supposed to be out on the boat without somebody who can hear, then they can't be out on the boat. They're not allowed to be. So they can't do that work unless they break the law.
Sure.
Being a truck driver, you can do that work without breaking the law. And just because you didn't, right, that's not a disability. That's you can't do things that are illegal. You're not supposed to. You can. You're just not allowed to. It's an important distinction, I think.
It is. How far in the weeds do you want me to get on this one?
It's just we don't have to go any further. Like that. The point is, this is not simple, right? And it's it was an interesting feature of the movie that they never talked about that, but it's there because they don't have enough money. They can't make money because they're being forced to pay $800 to have somebody on the boat.
Yeah, what in the world was that?
I mean, what a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really dumb.
Sounded to me like that board was just trying to make even more money off them.
Yeah.
Which is why they scrapped the whole thing and started a co-op.
I love that part. Yeah. Burn it down.
Oh, yeah. It was cool.
the song they played after that, the soundtrack on this movie was great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember thinking that the song they played is one of those like rock and roll, like Energizer, like, yeah, you can do it yourself songs. But then the point of the song was like, they aren't going to succeed in this. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I
was really confused by that song choice at that point.
With like the montage where they're like putting together their new business.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
I don't remember what song was playing actually.
So,
it was the Clash.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was. Yes, I know exactly the song
What's
you're
the
thinking.
song, though?
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember the scene, and I'd like the.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
This movie, we talked about the characters having layers, and just that one scene with her brother just being so complex and how he's processing what he's thinking and feeling. But this whole movie was complex.
Yeah.
Because you've got this the plot of Ruby being in high school, trying to figure out what she's going to do for her future because she wants to sing. But then you've got the plot of the family business. And then you have the pressure on Ruby of the family business juxtaposed against the pressure from her choir teacher. And then you've got the internal conflict of the fishing business, and mom wants them to quit and sell the boat because they can't make money. But dad says, I can't do anything else.
It's the only thing I know how to do. Yeah.
And then we have all of the interesting complexities of the economics of fishing in that harbor and the geo and taking advantage of them as far as price and all of these things. And then we have the deaf people who are sort of outsiders for most of that first half, standing up in the meeting where they're telling them you're going to have to pay for these inspectors to come on your boat and saying, we're not doing that. We're starting a co-op. Anyone who wants to join us, come join us. And the outsiders rally this community of fishermen, and then they become like they're the glue that holds the community together, and they go from being outsiders to essential.
Yeah.
And like just all of that. And then you've got the boyfriend, and then you've got the Berkeley audition. And it's just every single
thing.
thing.
And there's that little subplot of the brother with Ruby's best friend. Like there's just all these little lines of story going through everything. It's
just very well written.
Interesting.
All right.
Thad, are you ready to rate this movie?
Let's do it.
Tell us how to do it.
So I developed a rating system where every movie we rank on the podcast, I give a score of 0 to 10 based on 3 distinct categories. First, if it made me laugh. The second, if it made me cry. And the third, if it made me think, with a bonus point if I would watch it again. I cannot wait to hear people's rankings on this one.
Yeah.
I debated it with Trista for a long time.
Do you want to start, or do you want to?
I can start. Sure.
Why don't you start?
Okay. I laughed a couple of times throughout this movie. We talked about different scenes, but especially with the parents. The dad was funny.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the best friend.
Yep,
she was funny too.
The music teacher, just every time he was on
Bernardo.
everything about that guy made me laugh. So, give me a 2 for that. I wouldn't say this is a comedy. But I was laughing through the movie. Crying, I would not say I cried, but Trista did cry. There were emotional scenes. There was charged themes in this one when it comes to loving your neighbor, right? Give me a 2 for cry, and then give me a 2 for think. I did not break through the ceiling of having some sort of existential crisis by watching this movie. But like you said, everything about this movie was very well developed, very well written. A very intriguing story.
All right.
Would you watch it again?
I do not know if I would choose to watch this one again.
Really?
I'll leave it there. So give me a 6.
All right.
All right, my turn.
AVD, you're up.
I had my ranking last night, but I think I'm going to bump it up an extra point. 2
She's
for laugh.
getting a 6 for cry.
2 for laugh. Yeah, like Thad said, there were some funny parts. It wasn't meant to be a comedy, so I wasn't laughing the whole time, but it definitely was funny. I had a 2 for think. I think I'm bumping that up to a 3.
Come.
There's a lot to process during this movie, and like we said, it's just so complex, every scene, but it was so thoughtfully done that it's not like hard to continue watching it. I had a 3 for cry. I cried a lot at the end. Pretty much. When did I start crying? I started crying.
When did I start crying?
I started crying when she was outside with her dad and she like sang for him, and then the rest of the movie I was gone. So I would watch it again as well.
Ooh, that's a 9. That's a 9.
That's a 9. I loved this movie.
Atta girl.
Nice. All right, Amber.
Mine's gonna look pretty much the same.
Nice.
I thought it was funny. There were a few like chuckle moments, but not like I wasn't ever like
Belly
laugh
laughing.
out loud kind of belly laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I cried through the whole end, so that one definitely gets a 3.
Well, good. I'm not the only one.
What's your laugh score?
2 for laugh.
Okay, and 3 for cry.
3 for cry.
Okay.
And 3, 4, 5 for think. This was we watched it way too late, and we still were like I need to do something else after this because my brain is going a million miles an hour. After this one, it was not a wind down movie at all. And yes, I would absolutely watch it again. So
Amber gives it a 9.
I give it a 9.
Nice.
There we go. Ethan.
It's interesting to me that you guys gave it a 2 for laugh, because I did laugh out loud.
Yeah, you were
several
laughing
times. I thought this movie was hilarious.
Okay. So 3 for laugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I thought this movie was hilarious. And hilarious in the best way, right? Because it's not just a comedy, it's hilarity in juxtaposition with the tension. And that, I think that makes it even funnier. I think it gets a 3 for me on the think too. Because the moments we talked about earlier when they drop the sound out
Yeah.
and it's silent and you experience the deaf person's perspective a little bit. And then juxtaposing that with, again, the hearing person in a deaf culture, in a deaf society, in her own home. That happens so often throughout the movie. And I just thought it was so thoughtful and so well done. And the writing, I mean, I talked about the layers and the plot and everything. So I think I'm going to give that a 3. And I cried.
Okay.
I cried when she was sitting on the tailgate with her dad.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Just kills you.
Amber was looking at me. I was like, I'm not crying. Shut up. So it gets a 3 for cry. And I would watch it again.
Dang,
It's a 10 for me,
a
Ethan.
10.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I loved this movie, Amber. I'm in the same boat
It's
as you.
beautiful.
It was so beautiful. And ultimately it was a movie about a high school girl trying to get into music school. But
Yes.
but that was not what this
There's
movie
so
was
much
about.
more though. Yeah.
Right? And that's why it gets a 10 for me. It was so good.
Nice.
So good.
Cool. Any final thoughts on the one?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think this is an underdog, and I think everybody should watch it because none of us had heard of it. And
Yeah, what the heck?
it is
Society.
Man,
the ratings we're giving it, other than Thad, who doesn't know how to rate a movie.
My gosh.
Oh,
All right. Amber's back to special guest status.
her first episode as a permanent member, and she's roasting that. That's okay. Jocelyn did that too.
Hey,
Somebody's got to keep him honest.
It's fine. All right. Go watch CODA. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to 82 Toothpicks. This episode featured your hosts, Ethan, Jocelyn, Amber, and Thad breaking down the movie. Want more? Check out Ethan's book, It's Not Too Late, for insights on securing your own legacy. Visit us at heisingalaw.com for all things 82 Toothpicks, including past episodes and more. If you enjoyed the show, follow us wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Remember, every movie is an estate planning movie.